This is not just another security report. This is the story of how violence in one of the states is silently increasing food prices in every Nigerian market. Over 30 lives lost in Zamfara, farms abandoned, fear spreading across rural communities, and the real question is no longer what happened, but why it keeps happening, despite new weapons, new gadgets, and new promises. This morning, on Facts Before Hype, we connect the dots between bandit attacks, your cost of living, and the battle for Nigerian food security. Today's report forces us to confront a painful reality, not as headlines, not as statistics, but as a national emergency that continues to reshape lives, livelihoods, and the future of food security in Nigeria. Fresh report from Zamfara State confirm another coordinated armed attack in which more than 30 people were killed. Behind that number are families permanently halted, breadwinners lost, communities displaced, and farmlands abandoned. In security language, this is not just an incident, it is a pattern, and patterns tells us where a country is heading if nothing fundamentally changes. Eyewitness accounts describe dozens of gunmen arriving in motorcycles, moving with precision, striking with clear prior intelligence. That level of coordination tells us three things. One, this was premeditated, not opportunistic. Two, the attackers understood the terrain and the vulnerabilities. Three, there is still a serious gap in early warning response system at the rural level. In asymmetric warfare, mobility is power. Motorcycles remain the most effective tool for non-state armed groups in the northwest because they neutralize the advantage of conventional military hardware. That is the uncomfortable truth. Every rural attack in Zamfara is also an attack on Nigeria's food chain. These are not just villages. They are production centers for beans, onions, tomatoes, livestock, and grains that fed urban markets hundreds of kilometers away. So when a farmer abandons his land out of fear, the impact does not stop in the village. It travels from the farm to the transport route, to the wholesale market, to the kitchen. That is how insecurity becomes inflation. There is an African proverb that says, when the shepherd is driven away, the goats will not return home. Right now, many farmers are the shepherds who cannot safely return to their fields. The Zamfara State government has recently introduced 25 armored personnel carriers, high-end surveillance drone with extended flight time, mobility support for community, protection guards, major agricultural budgetary allocation. On paper, this signals a transition from reaction to prevention, and that is important. But security is not won by equipment alone. It is won by intelligence dominance. The real question is, are these tools integrated into a real-time response network, or are they standalone assets? Because a drone without actionable ground intelligence is just a camera in the sky. Armored vehicles without rapid deployment logistics arrive after the damage is done. Technology must be fused with local knowledge, informants, network, and a rapid response command structures. This crisis is directly tied to rising food prices, supply chain disruptions, rural poverty, urban cost of living. Nigeria is already facing a projection of tens of millions of people in risk of food insecurity in mid-2026. So the Zamfara situation is not a regional problem. It is a national economic pressure point. Because when food production drops, three things happen. Prices rise, imports increase, the naira becomes under more pressure. Security in rural Nigeria is therefore not just a military issue. It is monetary policy, economic stability, and social survival. Perhaps the most disturbing layer is the reported illegal levies imposed on farmers. That is not random violence. That is parallel governance. When non-state actors collect tax, they control territory, they control movement, they control production. At that point, the conflict is no longer about crime. It becomes a struggle over sovereignty. Global counterinsurgency data shows that success in rural security comes from a combination of permanent rural security presence, not periodical raids, protection of farming corridors, air-guide intelligence fusion, community trust architecture, economic incentives for resettlement. Not force alone, but force plus governance plus livelihoods. Because another proverb reminds us, you cannot chase a man out of the forest if the forest is the only place he can live. Security and economic recovery must move together. The resilience of the people of Zamfara is no longer in doubt. The real test now is the resilience of the Nigerian state. Its ability to protect production, restore confidence, break the cycle of fear. Because a nation that cannot secure its farmers is a nation that mortgages its future. And here, on Facts Before Hype, we will continue to separate emotions from evidence and noise from reality, because only facts can lead to solution. At Facts Before Hype, we cannot just report the tragedy. We will expose the system behind it, the impact on your daily life, and the solution that must work. Because when the farmer cannot sleep safely, the nation cannot eat affordably. And this is Facts Before Hype, where truth speaks louder than propaganda. Thank you. Facts Before Hype. We always bring you the latest update. Kindly subscribe to our channel, like this video, share, and drop a comment. Thanks for watching.